am Joel Senyonyi. I don't entertain corruption, so I will speak about it. I'll condemn it. So the corruption that's happening in the Parliamentary Commission, which you never knew about, now you do, because we are here. And we'll keep letting it out. Sometimes we do it directly, other times, say, okay. They might say, hey, but Joel seems to have a personal issue. Then I'll give the information to somebody, you put it out there. And you have been seeing information out there from different people, because we shall avail this information. That's why I'm in this office. I'm not in this office to massage anyone. I'm in this office to keep the government in check, to make sure the taxpayers' money is properly utilized. When that does not happen, I will speak out, I'll expose the rot and all of that corruption. No wonder they don't want me to attend the Parliamentary Commission meetings, because they know the dealings that happen there. Because if all was happening the right way, why don't they want me to sit there? So clearly now you know that all the while they would be sitting in these meetings cutting deals. That's why, please don't try and compare me, please. No. Uganda's Deputy Ambassador to UAE and Consular General at Uganda's consulate in Dubai has been recalled over the gambling machines scandal. That our consulate in Dubai turned into a casino. You can imagine. During the day, it is a consulate. At night, it is a gambling center. Just think about these things. And then one Joy Ruth Aceng, Uganda's ambassador to Canada, has also been expelled by Canada, which declared her persona non grata for uncouth behavior. The challenge we have in this country is that people are not appointed based on meritocracy. Because we should be having ambassadors who are career diplomats, who know what to do. But many times, political failures. Somebody runs for political office, they fail, then they're appointed ambassador. So they go to extend their politics. And this incompetence in some of these countries. But you see, some countries are serious. Canada is a serious country. Said, you're not here to do politics, because she was on the street, all dressed up like I don't know what. On the street, she hired some, people seeking asylum, Kenyans, Ethiopians, and so on, gave them some dollars, dressed them in yellow, and then the ambassador is on the streets in Canada protesting and saying, you see, Museveni's regime is doing a good job. An ambassador? I don't even know if they are oriented through these roles. We are glad that Canada took the decision that it took, because this incompetence, while it can thrive here in Uganda, in some countries it is unacceptable. And we are encouraging other countries out there, where you see these incompetent ambassadors, send them back home, because they misrepresent all of us. Oh yes, they do, because they are representing the image of Uganda. But they're out there, many of them being jokers, involving themselves in unscrupulous things. So we are glad that these steps have been taken. Our hope is that there can be a thorough review of all the ambassadors we have in this country, because majority of the ambassadors that we have sent as a country to different countries are political failures. And I'm not saying that in bad light, because somebody can fail politically. You run for office, fail. Does that mean then plan B is for you to become an ambassador? Why don't we nurture, do we not have career diplomats that can represent us well? These people that have failed in politics, okay, you can appoint them RDC, assistant RDC, so that confusion remains around here. But now when you export that confusion elsewhere, or you can even make them presidential advisors and so on and so forth. But when you export this incompetence, it makes all of us as a country look bad. All of us. Because we are all Ugandans and this country belongs to us. So our hope is that there can be a thorough review of all the ambassadors, and that's what we are tasking government to do. So that those that don't know what to do, bring them back home. Give them RDC positions, presidential advisors, and so on. Let that confusion remain here, so that we do not export confusion and incompetence. It can be here for local content, but let's not export it out there. With every office there comes responsibilities. There's such a thing as the Vienna Convention, which adumbrates how diplomats are meant to operate. Diplomats are not political activists. And that's why Canada expelled this person, because they're saying you are violating the Vienna Convention, you're violating the modus operandi of diplomats as it should be internationally. Same thing with here, let's not even go so far. I mean, we see government employees who operate as political activists, which is wrong. RDCs, for example, and several others who end up doing political work, which is wrong. Government should be taking action upon them, but it does not. Now, that doesn't mean that because our government, whether it be sheer incompetence or because they benefit out of it, that they will not take action. Other governments are serious. So when you are a diplomat, you're expected to behave like a diplomat. When you don't, they'll expel you. So it's as clear as that, because these ambassadors don't go there to mobilize for the party called NRM. They are there representing the country called Uganda. And that's why when you are in any of those countries, regardless of your political affiliation, you should be able to go to this embassy if there's any concern or whatever. So Canada was saying, for us, we take these international treaties seriously. If for you in Uganda, you don't. Ramson, why always lament? My role as leader of the opposition is to keep the government in check. So what some people call lamenting, it is us, me and my colleagues, keeping the government in check. Of course, government will say, but you're always crying. Now you cry about corruption. Now you Ruvoa Hospital. Now these loans. Yes, that's my duty, to keep the government in check. When we say stop the brutality, we want service delivery, stop the corruption. Some people might see it as lamenting, but that's our duty, keeping the government in check. And we'll not stop doing that. We'll do that severally. We release alternative budgets, ministerial policy statements, minority reports, and so on. Yes, we are putting the spotlight on the issue, and then we even provide a remedy. So we're not going to stop doing that. I know that government uses that to try and blackmail us, so that we keep quiet. You're just lamenting. We are carrying out our cardinal duty, which is to keep the government in check. And we are not going to stop keeping the government in check. We'll do everything within our powers to keep the government in check. They don't like it, by the way. That's why they say, you Senyonyi, you're always lamenting, you're always, crying. Because they know that the issues we are raising are critical issues. And that's why we shall not stop to keep the government in check. Somebody did say, and by the way, now that we are in opposition, our role is to keep the government in check. We are saying, when we get to power, we shall just be arresting the thieves. We shall not be struggling around, censure motion, now court, now this, now press conference. We shall just arrest and lock up the thieves, because there we shall have the powers to do that. Now, ours is to keep the government in check. And that's why the country is aware of many of these things, because we are playing our role. The country is aware. And that's why when you go out there, interact with them, they tell you about these things, because we talk about them. If we keep quiet, they will not be in the know. Somebody said that Honorable Mpuga said since he left office, it is not operational. I don't know if he actually said that, but I don't want to compare myself to him. We are not comparable. No, we are not. I am Joel Senyonyi. And other leaders are other leaders. So, we have different yardsticks. When I came into this office, that's now when you began to know about the corruption in the Parliamentary Commission, which has been happening in the past years. Because that's what they would sit and engage in all of this corruption. Now you know, because I'm speaking about these issues. And I will not stop to speak about them. So if somebody is complaining and saying, but now you're not different, you're more radical, why don't you keep quiet about certain things? I am not him, I am Joel Senyonyi. I don't entertain corruption, so I will speak about it. I'll condemn it. So the corruption that's happening in the Parliamentary Commission, which you never knew about, now you do, because we are here. And we'll keep letting it out. Sometimes we do it directly, other times say, okay, They might say, hey, but Joel seems to have a personal issue. Then I'll give the information to somebody, you put it out there. And you have been seeing information out there from different people because we shall avail this information. That's why I'm in this office. I'm not in this office to massage anyone. I'm in this office to keep the government in check, to make sure the taxpayers' money is properly utilized. When that does not happen, I will speak out, I'll expose the rot and all of that corruption. No wonder they don't want me to attend the Parliamentary Commission meetings, because they know the dealings that happen there. Because if all was happening the right way, why don't they want me to sit there? So clearly now you know that all the while they would be sitting in these meetings cutting deals. That's why, please don't try and compare me, please. No.